on the agenda, we have department updates. So we'll start, Carrie, maintenance, you got to lead us off? Morning, Carrie.
First thing I wanted to update on the old probation office in the first floor of the courthouse. All the new carpet and painting and blinds are up. The wall has been built and it's all done and it's ready for move-in. I have the scheduled Title 4D and the VA to move November 14th. I'm going to move into that office. The judges, I talked to them and they were talking about getting together and deciding if they were going to order some furniture or whatever for the other side. So that's where that's at right now. I've had, since the windows are done down at the annex, in the mornings and stuff, with the sun being so bright, they are asking for blinds in those windows. I got a couple of quotes. House of Decor did a quote previously before I was here, and so they redid their quote. For the treasurer's office, they had a quote for 9 blinds at a little over $6,000. For the auditor's office, for 22 blinds, it was almost $15,000. And along with that, I did need new blinds at the new probation office. There's like 7 out of the 10 blinds over there that are busted, and it was a quote of $5,800. So the total for that was $26,970 for blinds. So I had Clay's do an estimate on it, and Clay's came in at, for the probation office, $3,500, for the treasurer's office, $3,200, and for the auditor's office, $7,800, so it was a total of $14,587. So there was a big difference. So I
Are
was
they pretty
wondering,
much the same blinds?
they are the same exact blinds. It's called up-down blinds, honeycomb up-down blinds. So it was for apples on this quote, so I wanted to know if I could get your guys' approval to have Clay to do the blinds.
Money in your budget?
Yes.
Sounds like we need them.
Okay. We'll do that. I want to talk just a little bit about the LED lights for this building and for the courthouse. I'm still working on a couple different companies doing some quotes on that. I'm trying to see if I can get not so many emergency lights that are in there and see what the state says on it, so that's why it's taking a little bit longer. So I'm trying to get as many update on that so that we're not spending as much money on security lights in each office. So it's taking a little bit longer to get quotes on that. I wanted to bring up the windows at the courthouse. I know that that was in a proposal prior to me in a bond or something, I'm not sure. But I did go through last week and taped up about 20-some windows. Air's coming in, they're bad. And so I just wanted to, as a reminder that I need a little bit of help on that if there's.
Well, we have money in a bond, we don't know where, we'll have to talk to the council, right?
Yeah, we'll have to talk to council.
Okay, I just want you guys to be aware that that is the situation over there. I mean, there's some really bad windows. I met with Brian a couple weeks ago, walked around the courthouse, and we looked at that upper white metal that's around the downspouts. And it's rusting real bad, and there's got some places where it's coming apart. Midland Engineering came and met with me last week, and he's going to get me a quote back on that, but they said that they could go up and seam those spots, and they believe that there's none that's going to have to be really replaced, and then they can be painted. But they said it probably, some of the work can be done now, possibly, as soon as he gets me a quote, as long as it don't get too cold out. But the painting, he said, would probably be in the spring, first of the spring, to get it painted. And why he was here, which is not good news, we did an inspection on the roof of the courthouse. The roof was replaced by them in 1982. So that tells you how old the roof is. The tile is still good, but the underlayment under the tile is bad. So he is going to get me a quote on that, and they would come in and take all the tile off, rip off the underlayment, put new underlayment on, and put the same tiles right back on. But it is bad. We did an inspection from the inside and as much as we could on the outside. And I've got leaks, and my major leaks are above the courtroom, circuit courtroom.
Oh, after you've redone it.
Yeah. So I'm seeing leaks up there again, so and it's coming through the roof. So every heavy rain, I've been watching it, and I've got buckets and tarps up there trying to protect what I can protect. Then I have two proposals, one for the new boiler at the courthouse that I would like to give to you guys to look over, and I have two proposals on the generator at the courthouse, which I would like for you guys to look over. I'll give them to you after the meeting. Okay. So that you guys can review those. That's all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt. Josh, IT?
Earlier.
What, you got an updated one?
Yeah, just to kind of, that way you've got some notes on it. First off, give some good news. Devin Sawyer was born about an hour ago, so he's on boy number 2, and he'll probably come in here after he's pretty wretched and tired. Probably be looking forward to coming back possibly. So that was good news. All right, kind of go over real quick a breakdown of what we've been up to the last couple of weeks. We did our core replacement over the period of maybe 2-3 weeks, getting the core switches replaced out at the detention center and the core switches over here in the annex. Got them zoned in, home run all the connections back to those cores. We had access layer switches here at the annex building and over at the courthouse that were pretty much the heaviest as far as density was concerned. So they're going to take the most time. And thank you to the 3 of you for allowing us to stay over the last couple of nights to get those done. We were able to get those done and completed. So as far as the network project's concerned, it's done. Now we can finally move on to getting the new server system up and running. We're getting that scheduled out because there will be a team for Dell on site as well for that. So that's where we're kind of at on the IT side. One of the things that we've been discussing over the last month, 2 months, Travis and Guido over at the security office at the courthouse and Carrie, we have outdated push-button duress system. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I know for years we've struggled trying to get parts for that. If we do find parts, those parts come from eBay, which is not a very good, warm and fuzzy feeling when you're putting somebody's life on it. What we have looked at, instead of relying on hardware that we know that's going to go into life at certain periods throughout the lifespan, looking at utilizing what we currently already have in place, which is almost every single employee here at the county, whether it be at the courthouse, annex building, detention center, probation, wherever, has a desktop computer in front of them. We've looked at software called Links, which is a duress system. Basically, the employee, should they have a constituent or someone come in and give them a hard time, they can do a keystroke combination, and that can be done whether the computer is locked or unlocked. That sends an alert not only to dispatch and to the sheriff's department, it sends an alert if they choose to other department heads, or we can choose to sit there and send an alert to everyone. For example, we have a mass event, something happens at the courthouse, others need to be alerted, that can be sent out to everybody's machines discreetly. So, without any audio, but a message that comes up. This can be pre-programmed too, depending on the type of situations, whether it be an aggravated type of situation, whether it be a health-related situation, all those type of alerts can be put up. That comes with the software. What you see in front of you on line 1 and line 2 includes the licenses needed for that. Line 3 then also includes the radio system. So the radio right now, currently with panic buttons, we have a radio in a box that communicates out to 911 and the sheriff's department. I would like to still keep that in place too. Beyond just the physical pop-up on the screen alerting the individuals, it would be nice to have that go over the radio because that's what we're currently accustomed to and that works out well. It doesn't matter what type, whether it's VHF or 800, as long as we supply the radio for them, then they'll tie that into the network. We send a box back to them, they tie it in, get it ready, send it back to us, we plug it into the network, and it's good to go. The other benefit to this is since we are done with the network system, we have full redundancy. So if we have an issue to where one side goes down, the other side can still communicate depending on where the situation occurs. So there's always multiple paths to send out that signal. So we should be good there. Line 4 then is including an additional 3 years on top of the first year that's included with the software package. The only reason why I included that is because I was alerted that they will have a 5% increase on the support costs starting to 2024. So I just wanted to throw that in there. The total cost of the project, if we go with the 3 years additional, which will give us 4 years of support, that would be $28,942.50. If we remove that additional 3 years and decide not to purchase that currently at this time, we'd be looking at $20,692.50. Now, again, one of the benefits to this is we already, in a sense, have the hardware in place. With the client PC sitting in front of everyone, there's no need to sit there and buy the actual buttons themselves. Everybody has a keyboard in front of them. And again, whether that computer is logged into in the morning or logged off, that keystroke will sit there and send the signal out. So it does kind of help us as far as longevity is concerned. We're always going to have a PC in front of these individuals unless we go complete iPads one day. But I don't foresee that happening anytime in the future. So, talking with Guido and Travis.
Does it work off the iPads though?
What's that?
Will it work?
No, it will not work off of iPads unless I'm not aware of that, which I may not be. Because the only thing we discussed is the actual keyboards themselves, and I think you physically have to have a hardware keyboard in front of you. But, talking a little bit with Travis and Guido, one of the benefits too is its natural motions, unlike a reach down underneath the counter to hit the button. So that's what I'm proposing to you and wanting to ask if I get your blessing to move forward and take it to council. Money's in the budget for that. I've talked with Travis. We're going to sit down and see what we can do working together, maybe to help fund it combined. But just want the blessing to move forward. This is an install that basically they will send a virtual machine image to us. We load it on the server. Devin and I get it set up. It's good to go. So pretty straightforward.
I do, yeah. Guido's been talking with other people, of course, security around the state, and this is kind of a tried and true system they use in school corporations and hospitals. And he's right, the natural look of a keystroke versus pushing a button. The other issue you have, if there would be an issue in an office, right now you've got one button that everybody's going to be trying to hoard to activate. They can sit at their workstations and activate this system and alert everybody in real time. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic system. That's good to me.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
And Travis has brought up a good point too. That's another thing that Cesar helps reduce costs too, because we're not buying more buttons for these departments. It's already available in the package. The other thing that I wanted to bring up that I failed to mention, this ties directly into our camera system too. So when that is pushed, the camera feed will come up on the screen also. So it uses a standard protocol that all the camera systems use. So we should be good.
Sounds good. Sounds like you guys do.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions for me? Oh, the other thing, they're going over websites for the last month, looking at all of our options. Hopefully by either the end of this month or very beginning of next month, I will have something ready for the three of you. One of the things that we're trying to focus on is constituents. What are they getting? Not necessarily looks, but what are they getting out of it to sit there and help get the job done without them having to physically come into the building?
That sounds good. I think that's been needed as well.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Appreciate it.
Deputy Treasurer? John, Highway? Morning, John.
A few things for you. First thing, at your last meeting, you accepted that we had bid letting for fuel You had one bid for fuel. That's from the series. Holly and I have looked over that contract. Everything looked all right. I sent you a copy of that last week there. If everything looked all right to you guys, I need signatures for that. You need to accept it. It'll be a 5-year contract for county fuel. The system and purchasing fuel out there at the highway for the whole county. Like we've done.
I will be abstaining from that. My son works with it.
Okay. So then I would entertain a motion to approve the bid offer from Cirrus Solutions for a 5-year fuel contract on the highway department. So moved. I'll second that. Are there any questions? All in favor? Motion carries 2-0. Rick abstaining. Your son, so, okay.
And then Friday, we had fall bids for stone culverts and such, and asphalt patch. I need those to Holly to look over everything.
Yeah, every other good things are right.
So, with your approval, I need you guys to accept those bids.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve the fall bids we received last week. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. 3-0.
Then we get into the fun stuff. So, first, I've got a permit request, and this is permit 2235. So 2235 was a permit that you accepted last year on the 7th of November. It's going to expire tomorrow. It's from NIPSCO, Sarah Kane from NIPSCO. They just want to install 6,660 feet of gas line along Southway and Spade Drive with 3 road courses. We approved that last year. They couldn't get that done, they say, because of permitting delays with RMC. So they're asking for an extension up to March 6th of 24. Didn't know how you want to handle that, if you want to have them reapply, if you want to give them an extension, what you want to do there. But they need more time.
I guess just extend it out, I guess.
You have a problem with this?
No, I don't. I mean, we've already approved it and everything, just that they didn't get it done. So, I don't know if we need to re-sign it or how we do that. Just an approval or.
We'll just vote on it again to extend it up to whatever date you said. We write on there what date it is.
3/6/24.
Okay. Make a motion to extend NIPSCO's contract.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions? All in favor? Motion carries 3-0.
So the next one is permit 2323, Bill Babcock from NIPSCO. He's requesting a permit for an exploratory gas dig up for future gas joint replacement, install traffic control signs. And this is going to be along 400 East between State Road 14 and Fort Wayne Road. This is one that they've been wanting to do for a while, but we held them off because of the detour.
Yep. Okay, you're okay with everything?
Yeah. All the work that they're doing is on the right of way, and affect our road.
Okay, I entertain a motion to approve permit 2323.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Motion carries 3-0.
The next one again is from NIPSCO. This time it's permit request 2325. John Metzger of NIPSCO. He's requesting to install 60 feet of 2-inch plastic gas service along County Road 200 North to service 3090 East, 200 North. Yeah, I don't see any issues with this one at all.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve permit 2325.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Carries 3-0.
And then the next one is permit request 2326 from Kyle Hoover. He's requesting a driveway permit for driveway entrance to access his property 700 feet north of 250 south on 575 east on the west side of the road. And it's going to be a 100-foot driveway. He gives me a, yep, we went out and looked at that. They look to be in order.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve permit 2326.
Second.
All in favor?
And then the last one I have for you is permit request 2327 from Jay Courier of NIPSCO, and he's requesting a permit at 3105 East Main Street, Macy, that's down at Iona Lake, and that's retire a gas service, SRVC, and to have a future rebuild if they need to. This will entail a 2-foot by 2-foot bell hole excavation on the side of the road in the right of way.
Looked at it, everything's good.
Yeah.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve permit 2327.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Carries two.
So bring you up to speed, the guy's been running brush cutter, they've been hugging. I think they've got about one more day of hugging, and then that'll be finished for the year. They've done quite a bit of that. We've been laying some millings down. They've got quite a few millings from the Community Crossings project that Ben Brown's doing. That leads me into the next phase. Ben Brown's been milling up here on 450 north, 700 north. They built up the railroad tracks there at Coyote at 700 north, getting ready to pave. I believe they start paving Friday on 450. I don't know how far they got along. And then we're probably working on that for the day. So I'm trying to get that project done. Got that, the bridge, Port Construction's working on it. I know they got the deck overlays done, the approaches have been poured. The biggest hang up on that is guardrail. They ordered guardrail long before they ever started the project. Early in the spring, they ordered guardrail, and they told me that they didn't think that it was going to come in. The company they ordered it from said the 8th was when the delivery date was going to come for the guardrail. They're supposed to have the bridge open by the 9th. So for them to have it all installed in one day is impossible. Hopefully it comes in sooner than that.
What happens if they go beyond their day?
I think they've got so many days before they start getting dinged. I'm not sure. We've got an inspection date on the 15th to inspect the bridge. Don't think it'll take but a few days to get it installed, but
That is to get that open. A lot of people's getting anxious.
yeah, that'll be the holdup if there is any. Other than that, the only thing I had, you'll see a couple appropriations and transfer. One, I've got an appropriation for $10,000 coming out of OPH to repair building equipment. This is to just get the shop through till the end of the year for some extra expenses. We took a little bit out to put the roof on the office building. That'll help cover that cost to get that through the end of the year. And then the other is $4,816. That's for the extra cost of the concrete out there and transfer for $3,008. We covered money, but we put it in signage instead of construction. Just need to move it over. So that's what those are for. That's about all I have. If you have any questions for us.
I think they need to be, highway department needs to be commended. You've had 2 collapsed culverts in the last about 45 days. Got in, got them fixed, got them repaired. With what we're seeing other crews around taking forever to book those, you fixed in about 48 hours. I think that maybe needs to be commended.
One we actually did in 24 hours.
I know it's 20, it was actually a little less than out here.
Yeah.
The one I know down our way was about 48 hours. Got them both hop next over to Van Houten. Nice job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Jerry, corner. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to be here.
Break the chair.
It was nice having a little delay today from the time change. Anyway, just to update you a little bit on the coroner's office, we've had 60 families we've served so far this year. Of that, that'd be 33 men and 27 ladies. Fulton County, and this is effective November 3rd. I got my statistics from our registrar right here. She helps me with those things. But anyway, we have had 166 total calls in Fulton County of people passing. Now, that doesn't mean they're all Fulton County residents, because we do have a lot of people come in to our other healthcare facilities and things like that. But anyway, so we've had 85 males and 81 ladies. Of that, our office has investigated about 36% of all the deaths that have occurred here in Fulton County. Of that, we've had 1 undetermined, 6 accidents, 1 suicide, and about 50 natural. We've got 2 that are pending an autopsy, so we're still kind of in a holding pattern waiting on those. And just to let you know, we have had 8 autopsies this year, 11 labs that we've drawn, and then we've drawn some tox as well, about 6 of those. And with the autopsies, those are automatic; they come along with that too. So we're keeping track of everything like that. I also wanted to let you know that a little update on our power cot. We had encountered a glitch about 2 weeks ago. And the striker company that we have a contract with, it's still under warranty, so it didn't cost us anything. And I was very appreciative of that. Had to drive down from Kalamazoo. They came within 24 hours. They replaced the part, did some troubleshooting. We need to have another part installed, and that will be installed tomorrow at 1 o'clock. At that time, we're going to have a little class there. He's going to be teaching us and showing us how to utilize the cot in manual mode, and then troubleshooting for other things too. So if it does go out again or something like that, we do have, because I thought what I'd probably be doing is using my little van with my cot, and we wouldn't be able to use that. But he started laughing and said, "Oh no, I've got to wait, I've got to show you this." So he kind of showed me, but I thought it'd be good if all of us would be able to see that. So he's very congenial. He's a great guy, and he's Johnny on the spot, coming, in a very timely manner. So I wanted to let you know that. Sometime soon, and I've kind of been waiting on this, we've got a quote for a service contract with them on this for the next 3 years, and it'll start like in February or March of 2024. It's at a cost of around $8,500. We've got the money in our budget for that, but I didn't want to present it till I had an actual bill that we could do that. So once we get that, and I know I told you this the last meeting, so I'm sure I'll have it by the next meeting, but they're still working on that. I know the approximate cost, but I haven't seen the word invoice or bill yet. So I wanted to let you know that. But that'll be proactive, it'll be taken care of, and that includes everything, parts and service for the next 3 years. Very excited about Wednesday. Our Chief Deputy Margot's organized our radiology event that the Indiana University Kokomo kids are coming up, or students I should say, and we're going to have a class on radiology, comparing and contrasting forensic radiology versus actual radiology on a living human. So, and then how that affects and can assist the coroner's department. So we're looking forward to that. That'll take place at the Justice Center, and then of course back in our area as well. And we're in a holding pattern on the Duke Energy. We've got it turned in, but we're just kind of waiting to hear from them. So we're still optimistic. So hopefully we'll have something good to report.
How much was that for?
Between 4,000 and 5,000. So we're not sure exactly how much it's gonna be. It could be 45, I'm hoping for 5, but not sure. And that's something that Gail and I have collaborated on together with Duke Energy. So we're excited, but still haven't heard anything definitively yet. My last thing is, we have a little bit about our tabletop. It's coming up on December 13th, and we're excited about that. It's going to be at the Justice Center as well. This will be our last one. We've got our last meeting next Monday, our final meeting before we launch off on that and try out our techniques and ideas and collaborate together. And then next year, I'm very excited, we're going to have a real live action type event. So it'll be on scene, outside, whatever happens. And that's still kind of like, that's what's going on. So, anyway.
For Jerry. Jerry, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, thanks.
Hey, Gail. Morning, Gail.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of October, we had our readiness score for EMA, emergency management. We got 23 out of 25. We got a high rating for that. So we did pass our readiness program, and that happens once a year. So just so you all know that. Craig is looking to shoot out Everbridge and make that go live with all departments by the end of this week, whether they understand or not. But this is a collaborative effort, and it goes above and beyond giving messages out to the public. One example is the health department, if she's giving out so many flu shots or whatever vaccinations, she can put that out to the public as well on Everbridge, which was once Nixle. So I think the money will be well spent with that program and notifying our citizens of what we've got going on. Plus in an internal, with departments as well, you'll be able to utilize that with your employees. So everybody, every leader can use that to its extent or not at all. So with that being said, that's that. Jerry did elaborate on the December 13th tabletop that will take place 5 p.m. at the Jail Justice Center. It's imperative that we do get elected officials again there like we did last time. That helps our readiness program and to be compliant with the state. Last week we collaborated, we had a meeting with the Ambulance Review Committee as well, going over what we're going to present to you in the Commissioners' Council tonight at 6 p.m. With that being said, is there anything that you would like us to bring to the table besides what we already?
No, but I'd just like to make the announcement. It's been brought to our attention. It was advertised as the executive. It is a public meeting tonight.
Oh, is it?
So make sure everybody wants to come.
Okay, so we will be going over that. I will tell you, you guys will have a hard decision, but we'll give the highlights and pointers of the 2 services that would fit our county's needs. We continue to interview for 911. I'm not going to lie, the Indeed applicants have been coming in tenfold. We started reviewing those and doing interviews. I will say, after weeding through quite a few of them, 50 plus, we have some very good applicants, and it's very sad that I can't just hire them all. I will tell you that. And that's the first time in a very long time I've been able to say that. But a lot of folks are driving out of town, and I just wish I could give them all, because it's going to be a hard decision for us as well, where we're going to do the second review with these individuals. I mean, we've got a good 20 that we're looking at, and it's going to be tough. With that being said, we do have numerous seats on part-time. I will tell you, we do have money to move around for a part-time budget. I'd like to hire another part-timer to go full-time. For interest and keep them on staff. I will hire a part-time to collaborate to do our quality assurance till we get people up to par and certified for our quality assurance program. I do have somebody from St. Joe County coming down here that's very qualified. She'll be working part-time for us, but she will fill in one of those spots. But we have bilingual folks interviewing. It's just an amazing response, I will tell you this time. I will be submitting a bill for the city. This year, we've been dispatching for the city at nighttime. It has progressed more. They are very down on their dispatchers. We've been talking about this in our 911 board meetings and so forth, and I've been working with Andy in a collaboration to make sure his officers are safe. They are on an 800 channel, their own at this current time, but we'll be submitting a bill. Andy did save money, and we can work those logistics out in the background if there's some issues and so forth moving forward. We've aligned the tower sites here in the county for VHF. This will be the last time we do that. I feel this is my suggestion to the commissioners that VHS is very expensive to maintain, to purchase equipment. It's thousands. A base station is 20 to 30,000 at each one of these towers. That's not including like transmitters, receivers, with very limited coverage. It makes a good backup system for that necessary evil, but VHF is a thing of the past. It's going away. So with that being said, we have been collaborating with fire chiefs. The sheriff was there at our last meeting last week. We're looking at different radios to get more bang for our buck. The fire departments are looking, they're collaborating together. It's the first time we've got almost every fire chief except one in a room to make a unanimous decision. They'll be talking about that next week at their fire meeting, but I think we can get a good start for around 100 to 150,000. And I know I've been coming to you for that, but Dave was there and we looked at quite a few. So they'll be testing some out. Travis will be testing some out as well because he's going to have to get his staff equipped. His stuff is in the light and we're like going on a shoestring here. But that being said, we'll move on. We had a Spillman patch. We are up to date on that. The ABL has been activated on our mapping and dispatch, and we have a couple of dispatchers that we're having issues with that. And I'd like to move forward with a mapping company. Josh is looking at Esri. I'm also looking at Crossroads to do the dump from our mapping WTH into the Spillman in a correct manner. It does take a long time to do that, and it's diligently, and we need a service to do that. When I do that, it takes hours. So I've got to relinquish some of my duties here, but on that mapping side, the Esri or system that we already have a contract with and Josh is working on, or then maybe Crossroads. They do work for Miami County, Spillman, and a lot of Spillman agencies with WTH and dumping that address and Crossroads and so forth, and those that are validating, they correct those, and it does take time. You can't miss those. So anyway, I think that's about all, and then we'll get ready for cold weather and warming shelters. So I will be working with the schools, Red Cross, and so forth on that to be prepared. And if so, I know Recovery Cafe has asked us numerous times, but if they could open their doors, we have plenty of blankets and pillows that we got from Red Cross last year, and we can do the same. But for emergency response, obviously, we're real busy during that, and we don't have time to oversee those buildings. But I do know fire chiefs like to open up the fire stations sometimes, or like charging stations, or just to get warm and leave, and we can still do that. But that's all I have, unless you guys have anything else.
You comment about the radios and stuff. It was great seeing all the everybody's in agreement. There she goes, that was good to see.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Travis, or Casey, anything? Travis, sure.
Morning. I don't have a whole lot. Gail already touched on the AVLs. We worked on those a couple weeks ago. Josh and I have got all of them, but one of our fleets are on there. We've got an antenna issue. We've got to replace an antenna. Other than that, once we figured out the background, how to get that going, rock and roll. So appreciate your guys' support in that. It's fantastic to have. So animal control, we're taking applications through the 9th. I'm hoping by the evening of the 20th meeting, we'll have somebody that you guys can look at and approve for hiring. In the meantime, we're just doing emergency animal control services. Chief Deputy Jolly's taking care of that in the meantime, so.
So he's already done, Randy's done.
Yeah, Randy switched over last Monday, I think, so, yep. I'd like to, with your guys' permission, start taking applications for merit deputy position. Right now, we don't have anything, but there's a lot of things in the work that I'm afraid that if we don't have an application or pool of applicants, I think we're going to be way behind the 8 ball when the time comes. So if you guys are good with that, I'd like to get that advertised and start getting a pool of applicants on that. So. Record applications, tow applications, to be on the rotation. This is something that really needs to be done annually, and I know it hasn't been done in several years. Reaching out to other sheriffs across the state, I got a kind of a whole bunch of different ideas on what could fit for us. But basically, it's making sure that the record companies have the proper liability insurance, have proper storage facilities, that they're not price gouging, that they're going to be at service when we need them, things like that. So I put together an application kind of between a bunch of them, presented that to Holly. Holly was okay with it. I got it out to my legal deputy, making sure that that doesn't give her heartburn. And then so once she gets back with me on that, it's all good. We're going to push that out to the record companies. But basically it's doing that. It's making sure that they've got the proper liability insurance, that they're DOT approved, certified, that their employees aren't criminals, that they're not, all kinds of different things with that. So I'll get that pushed out and hopefully get those back by the first of the year, and we start fresh January 1st then with our rotation service or rotation for records. Make sure everybody's all on the same page with that. So other than that, I don't have anything unless you guys have anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis. Chad. Maintenance officer.
I don't have much. I just wanted to give an update. I talked to Brian about the storage maintenance building out there. I talked to the planning commission, and being a commercial building, we need to apply for a state release, which is gonna involve an architect. Brian thought he knew or knows somebody that could help us along with that. I have one bid back already. I'm waiting on 2 more. And the bid came in less than what I was expecting, but we'll see what the other 2 come in as.
What size building did you bid?
40 by 80 is what I got the bid for.
16-foot walls.
16-foot walls, and then that way we could put a mezzanine and have storage, a second level of storage instead of, it's I guess cheaper to do it that way than a shorter building. So I'll keep you updated on what I find out.
Yeah, looks, okay.
Thanks. Good.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, Carrie, did you have anything?
I have a couple transfers.
Okay. All right. Michael, Federman.
I'm going to start with the easy part first, housing. The study's underway. We had a virtual meeting about a week ago, just to play catch up and see what we're doing. In the next couple of days, I'm going to send you a resolution that the Housing Authority or the Hub has sent me. And what this amounts to, it's a program to help first-time homeowners and continuing homeowners who want to upgrade into something nicer, maybe get lower because the kids are going or something, and to help them out financially. It's called Who's Your Homes, and what it amounts to is it's a program that supports individuals and families seeking to buy a home in certain approved areas in Indiana. Marion County, Steuben, LaGrange, DeKalb, and Kosciuszko counties are participating in it right now. The city of Wabash, Fort Wayne, and the city of Gary are also participating in it. And what it amounts to is it helps to up to 5% on the down payment and closing costs of a home, which, as you all know, can be expensive and prohibitive. And so any kind of assistance like this is going to be helpful to us in getting something done. It's a 30-year fixed rate mortgage and has competitive rates. The minimum qualifications for this are you have to have a credit score of 620. There are income and purchase price limits, and a first-time homeowner purchaser has to complete certain parts of training in a certain program that will help them, educate them on how to buy a home, what to do, and whatnot.
So the 5% comes from the federal government, or where is the 5%?
Yeah, this is one of those great programs that was actually working, and so the federal government killed it. Yeah, and then somehow they got it started again. It used to be 6%, now it's 5%. So I don't, who knows?
So we just need to have an ordinance in place for them to qualify.
Yeah, and what it amounts to is you will take in the entire county in this particular request. It's you're going to get spammed by me here in a few days because it's about 14 pages long, and I'll send it to you, and then I'll drop it off hard copies with the auditor's office.
Would you make sure Holly gets a copy of it too?
Mm-hmm, certainly. That's not a problem. Let's shoot over to, are there any questions on any of that? Okay. Ready to is moving forward. And we had a regional meeting last week, all day down in Kokomo. We're going to have 2 more regional meetings before this month is over with. And at these meetings, we came up with, we took the suggestions and the requests from the countywide meeting that we had a couple weeks ago. And we're asked to reduce them to 10. We probably had a good 40 requests. A lot of it was duplication, came down probably at the end of the day to about 15 that we couldn't combine or anything. So what we're doing, and none of these, from my perspective, none of these is 1, 2, 3. These are all ones, and as I'm looking at them. We're looking at an industrial park. Size and other things have to be determined when we're getting estimates on costs, things like that we need, obviously. Child care is a huge problem right now, and so we listed that along with a couple of very specific programs that the school wants, which is a community learning center and an early education learning center, which would actually go into child care and daycare, things like that. Housing, obviously, we're going to shoot for that, try and get as much money in here as we possibly can to help offset those costs and such. I have coupled 2 with downtown revitalization and a rural, what I'm calling rural small town revitalization, so that we can bring in the small towns. Go countywide instead of just Rochester. What this amounts to is it's not going to be just for facades. It's going to be for structural integrity programs. I mean, we have a wall falling down that needs to be rebolstered, you know. We've got all kinds of problems with roofs and things. So with the housing, we'll couple it with upper floor residential, and then any structural, anything like that, facades, whatever else, whatever I can get the state to agree to that we can use the money for. Let's see what the other stuff was. And then we're going to try and see maybe some city infrastructure help at this point too. So those are the projects that we're working on. Unfortunately, they have to be, they're all due by Friday. So, and I have to have budgets and proposed budgets and things like that. There's a lot of conceptual work here. I've already talked with the state on how to present that. So we will present this as conceptual work in a conceptual drawing of the industrial park. The costs will be very real as far as we can get them all real. So there's going to be a lot of work involved in all this in the next few days and such. So that's actually right now where we're at. The last thing that I'll say is I have privately been talking with a young lady who's interested in helping the county. She's not from here, but she's a CDBG certified grant writer. And we're discussing costs at this point in time too. The more money that we can bring into the county and the cities and whatnot, the better for us to get done. So there's a lot going on. There's other things happening, but we'll talk about those later. But that's where we sit.
Sounds good. Sounds like making things happen.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, man. Okay, Doug, you ready to make?
Yeah, I want to do a quick cancel report. It's time for quarterly claims. So for the last quarter, we hauled 3,478 seniors, 2,808 regular public, for a total of 6,286. County trips, we had 2,029. Total miles, 44,746. Hours worked, 3,428. Gallons of fuel, 2,909. We had gross income last quarter of 139,912 with expenses of 123,415. And I don't know what quarterly claims are going to be yet. I just got started on that. So hopefully I'll have something this week. Because I'll have the paper for it. So. All right. That's it.
I appreciate it. That's good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Okay. Everybody? All right. We have the Fulton's contract. Travel requests, minutes, transfers, they came in here. I would like to table those until this evening's meeting, so we have a chance to review those.
I think it's a good idea.
Yep.
Just got it, so we get a chance to look at it.
We'll have the former contract, travel requests, minutes, claims, transfers, and additional appropriations this evening.
Is that okay, Holly?
It's a public meeting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to take one till the next meeting.
Yeah. Okay, so, any old business?
No, I don't think so.
Dave? I think, old.
As far as... Go ahead, you got any old business?
No, I think go ahead, we've got some new, don't we?
Yeah, we got something.
Christina, old business? Old business from anybody out in public? Okay. New business?
Do we need to do anything to the...
Craig Hardy?
No, Heather. Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
So we'll take one that then for now.
Yeah, because I haven't got a request, so we
Okay,
need to
okay.
record see it.
Okay.
I'm not sure what time, which, We can take care of that tomorrow, we'll find something out.
Well, and discussion, there's been some discussion brought up on the electric bills again. How we're paying for electric bills and how it's all, I thought we gave department heads permission if their electric bill was getting late, that it would go late, that they could pay them off a credit card. Am I wrong, or did I?
I thought we did that back last spring.
That's what I was thinking. Sometimes
Do
time-
we want to do anything different, or we want to keep it the same, or what you guys thinking?
I know the conversations we've had, I don't think the State Board of Accounts thinks it's ideal, but they don't, because we can't pay late fees. So it's a better way to get things paid timely, to avoid that. So I think we can just continue on, because I know, I think it was in some minutes we had, was spring, they said, go ahead and they can use those if it's getting, the time crunch it's going to pass the due date, so.
I think we'd rather do that and have them paid late. I mean,
Well, we can't pay them late.
yeah,
We can't fix it.
it's just,
I think there was a comment about the $3 or the little transaction fee in there, but that's part of doing business. And if we gotta keep avoiding late fee, I think that's part of it. We'll go ahead and make that payment with credit card.
Yeah, and it may be something we need to address with the personnel policy again on, or, you know, us here, if, because it was talked about having a centralized, like Chantel or something, paying them or somebody. So we may need to look at that, have a conversation with Christina and see what some options are again, so.
but for the time being, just keep it, you have to pay with the credit card, you have to
Yeah,
pay.
if it comes in where it's going to be, just pay your bills. That's good. I had, one thing, we had a credit card that was discontinued, or shut off, whatever it is there. I guess I would like to make a motion that is reinstated by noon today, and in the future, that any issues with the credit card, because I think it's the commissioner's responsibility to oversee that. If there's any issues with a personnel or a credit card, that they just brought to us before the action is taken.
I agree.
I agree with 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
I entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? That motion carries. So we can check this for the first one, Christina.
Yeah, the reissue.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Dave, do you have anything else, new business?
Anything else we discussed? I believe that this,
This time, I don't think so.
until we go through everything.
Mark?
No.
Christina, new business? New business from the public?
I got one,
Okay.
and this is like kudos to Michael Ladd and some of the businesses in town on a personal level and on an EMA, because anytime we have special events and stuff, the roads get a little crowded. And so it's been brought up to do like traffic control and so forth like that. But town was very, very busy this weekend. It was packed, and you can tell everybody's working together by small strides. So kudos to everybody working together to make our economy strong again. I will say that.
And everybody looks at your pictures on Facebook, every
Yeah.
store, every place was busy, looked
It
like all
was
the
packed.
places were taken.
So is downtown. It was good to have complaints of traffic problems. I will tell you that. So, yeah. So.
Anything else from anybody? Okay. Hearing none, I entertain a motion to recess.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? Motion carries.